Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tutorials of Tone. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for watching this video. What we're talking about today, the David Bowie classic of Let's Dance. This features Nile Rodgers on rhythm guitar and Stevie Ray Vaughan on the solo. Quite the dynamic guitar duo, if you ask me. We're going to talk about the dual delay, the sonic signature of the rhythm part, and then dive into the solo tone, which you can use entirely on position 4 on your Strat or Super Strat. Let's dive in. First up, we have our input block. Everything is at stock settings except the threshold of our gate. It's at negative 47.5 dB. That's where I like to have it for my Morse Music Man guitars. As I mentioned, we are in position 4 for this, so using the neck humbucker and the middle single coil. We are running into a Studio FF compressor. Pretty stock settings, except our release time is at 63.25 milliseconds. Auto makeup gain is turned off, and we have 6.5 dB level to make up for the compressed signal. We're using a 59 Bassman Bright for our rhythm channel. Not an uncommon thing to hear in the funk world. We do have the treble gain turned up a little bit so we can get that edge of breakup when we dig in on our build-ups. Otherwise, pretty neutral settings, some cut, presence, really bright sounding guitar. No low cut on the amp, but an 8500 Hz high cut is engaged. We are running into a pair of Bassman cabs, 4x10, with a 57 and a 121 on there. We have 100 Hz on the low cut and 10K on the high cut. Our reverb is a small room reverb, pretty stock settings, except we have a scene controller engaged as a modifier on our level control. When we're on our rhythm channel, we just have our nice simple ambience, and then when we switch over to our lead, that small room really engages as it does on the recording, as you can hear in the isolated stems of this song. Very handy to utilize scene controllers in this way. And of course, our dual delay, the sonic signature of the rhythm parts for this song. In the left, we have an eighth note, 25% feedback, panned halfway into the left ear. And on the right side, we have a dotted eighth note at 28% feedback, so a little bit more. And we have that 50% to the right. We have negative 5 dB on the level, really prominent, but we have this set up to an expression throw for our input gain, so we can use the same tone for the clean verses as well as the pre-chorus and the chorus build-up without having to switch or click buttons. To each their own. You can assign this, of course, to an FC button if you so choose. And now for our lead tone. We dive into the ODS 100 Ford, the Dumble sound. This is something that Stevie was known for using live and in the studio. So what better place to use it than this preset? Pretty stock settings here. Just a little bit more mid and treble. Some presence to give it that added bite. A little bit bump on the gain. We have a 20 Hertz low cut. Really negligible there. We are running into a pair of Marshall cabs for this. So 1960 cabs, a V30, and then a 57 rolled off 2.5 dB. We've got a 10K high cut on that. And at our current settings, it sounds like this. Pretty much the Stevie thing. Stevie was known for using a tube screamer in front to drive his dumbles, so we have that option here, dialed in. A little bit lower drive, a really dark sound on the tone, and then just a stock level. Nothing to speak of in the tone, graphic EQ, or advanced tabs. Now this is where it gets fun. Since Stevie was known for using the T808 to drive the front of the amp, we also have the Fractal exclusive option of using the input boost and tying our input boost type to a T808 sound. I've dialed this to nearly 20 dB of boost level, and on your FC controller, button 2 will turn off our T808 OD, the tone that we heard in the beginning, and it will engage the input boost on the amp at this setting, giving you a little bit of an extra kick of that T808 sound. So I'll play the same lick for you on the first setting, then we will engage the input boost on the amp and bypass the drive block. Here we go. As you can hear, we have that subtle boost option. It's also a little bit brighter when we use the input boost. So if you need to cut more in the mix, you have that option, but it does default to using the T808 overdrive in front of the amp. That's really it for this preset. Very simple, but very effective, and as a dance band or a wedding band guitar player, you're probably going to get this one called more often than not, so it's best to be prepared. If you liked this video, there are plenty more videos throughout the channel with Fractal 101, tutorials of tone, gear reviews, playthroughs, etc. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.